All right, welcome to the second episode of Rokken and Talkken.
Right.
That first one was fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun doing it.
Talking on over an hour and a half about Kiss.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, me neither. If you watched it, thank you. And if you click back on this one, thank you even more. We're here talking about, of course, Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
And, you know, it's a shame that we're having to do this both. You know, we lost Ozzy a few months ago, and obviously we lost Ace. And strange, man. These are my two favorite bands of all time. Now we're living in a world without them. How's that feel, man?
Feels pretty horrible.
Yeah, it feels weird.
It feels sad. It feels like, oh man, you just see the time going by and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When you see legends like this.
Did you ever get a chance to see Ozzy or Sabbath live?
Never once did I see either one of them.
Me neither, man. And it's a shame. I know that I graduated high school in 07, which I think Black Rain was 08, and then he got sick soon after that. So by the time I got around to being old enough to go to my own shows, he wasn't playing shows.
Nah.
So I kind of missed him altogether, and really a shame. Out of all the bands that I loved, I've seen them all. Sabbath, I obviously never got to see Sabbath. I would have settled for Ozzy.
Right. Absolutely.
But just never got a chance to see it. I was one of those guys that really loved the Osbournes growing up. What about you? Did you?
No,
like
I
them?
didn't really watch that. But in the mid to early 90s, my brother and I got addicted to Ozzy.
Really?
Yeah. And we bought all of his albums. We had everything. We had it all. And I still got them.
That's great, man. I believe it. Look around.
But we did that stupid thing where we got rid of the jewel cases and put them in the booklets, like you said.
Yeah.
In the little CD
Yeah, that's
books
why
that
a
go
lot
in
of
the
our
car.
stuff was just the
like
covers.
a stupid dummy. We did that with all of our Ozzy stuff because, you know, it was the 90s.
Yeah. I still have all those books, though. I will say. I've got
still
it
got
all
it.
books. Yeah.
And I've rebought a lot of his solo albums and stuff. But we were big into his solo stuff before we even really listened to Sabbath.
Yeah, me too.
So it was like going back, and then, you know, I bought Heaven and Hell at probably like a used CD place, and I can't remember the name of it, but I remember getting it in a used CD place when I was really younger. We were still real young. Elementary into middle school into high school, we were real obsessed with Ozzy. And then I got Heaven and Hell, and it didn't have Ozzy, and I was like, hey,
yeah, what's going on here?
And then, I didn't realize that when I bought it. That's how dumb I was. And lo and behold, it turned out to be one of the best albums I've ever heard.
Well, there you go. Spoiler alert.
I
know for me, my mom, we were driving, I think we were moving from North Carolina to Colorado, and I probably was in the second grade, maybe third grade. I think it was in second grade, though, because I remember being in third grade in Colorado. Anyway, The Oz Man Cometh had come out. My mom had a tape copy of it, and one of the tracks on there was a demo of the song Black Sabbath. That thing gave me nightmares, man, with the rain and what is this that stands before me? I'm like, oh God. And then of course, oh God, please help me. And I'm just, as a kid, just shaking in my shoes, man. It really gave me a feeling that I chased for years. I got into horror movies after that. I got into obviously heavier metal after that. But same thing. I was into Ozzy before. I remember in Colorado we had a video store called Hollywood Video. Did they have that out here?
Not to my remember.
Well, the cool thing about Hollywood Video was that it had a music VHS section, so you could rent like Speak of the Devil and the Ozzy videos.
Live
and I remember live. I don't remember. The one I remember was the Ultimate Sin one.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name of the VHS, but I got that as a kid. It had the Bark at the Moon video, and that it really just set something off. And then not too long after that, the Osbournes came out, and it was them and him and Kiss truly were my two real big first obsessions. So it's fitting that we're doing these two videos.
Yes.
But rest in peace, Ozzy. Man, I tell you,
man, that was just wild.
I got the live stream ticket for like $30 to watch the Back to the Beginning stream. What a day that was! I mean, I'm a big Slayer fan, and the way that they did their set as an homage to Sabbath was just epic. And seeing a lot of those bands and hearing Ozzy sing, of course I wasn't there, but seeing it on the live stream, him doing Mama, I'm Coming Home, was just really made me. I mourned Ozzy so much. I didn't really shed tears with Ace because I kind of mourned rock and roll in general with Ozzy.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of enough of the introduction.
Ozzy,
We're here. I'm sorry.
And I would say, and that's and we're talking about Ozzy, but There's a lot more to Black Sabbath than Ozzy.
There's a lot more, as we will find out soon, which is a good place to start our ranking of the entire 19 studio albums of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So here we go. You want to go first? Or
sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's at the back of everybody's list on this, and this isn't going to be a surprise to anybody. I don't think. But Forbidden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But look at this sweet vinyl.
Yeah,
on here.
the re-release.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Great album cover. I always thought the cover was great. Except for maybe the way Tony looks right here.
His big old nose.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I like the little demons back here.
Yeah, Tony Iommi down here. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, he's got a big nose, too, on this picture.
The
cross here. Oh, yeah.
See, the picture of...
the back's cool, too, man.
Yeah, that always looked like Jimi Hendrix to me.
It does.
I mean,
it is a cool cover, but the album, I mean, it's just complete nonsense. Let's be honest. This album has no redeeming factors.
Now, I disagree there. To me, it does have some good stuff, but we'll get into that, to what I think when we get to it.
Man, I got nothing to say. I mean, look at this. Kiss of Death, though, like you said, what was the song? They have a song here. I know it sounded just like Dokken.
Oh,
it's not Kiss of Death.
I think you're talking about the Eternal Idol.
Yeah.
The Ancient Warrior.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Yeah.
There is some good stuff on this, though. I like I Won't
Shaking
Cry
off
for
the
You.
chains, breaking the chains.
Yeah. And you got Kiss of Death.
Kiss of Death.
Yeah. Oh, Rusty Angels. That's the song.
Rusty Angels.
It sounds like Burning Like a Flame.
There you go.
It sounds exactly like it.
Yeah.
But I will say
it does rock. Rusty Angels does rock because of that.
This particular version of Forbidden is the Tony Iommi remaster that he did just a couple years ago. It makes the album a lot better. I will say this. If you haven't heard the Tony Iommi remaster of Forbidden, it's definitely worth your listen. It's still gonna kind of suck, but you know,
I don't like it, man. It's not cool, and I love Tony Martin.
Yeah,
I think he's awesome.
Me too. I even like Thorns, his most recent solo album.
But I do not like this album.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely the bottom of mine. It's not my very bottom.
Well,
but,
what would be yours at the very bottom then?
Man, to me, this might be the only surprise I have in this entire episode. But my very bottom, I'm going with Technical Ecstasy.
My next.
I don't know. This album's never done anything for me. They've lost the plot.
It almost sounded like they weren't on the same page.
Well, Bill Ward sings a couple of these songs.
Yeah.
So they definitely weren't. And even, it's not, this is Backstreet Kids. This is not a rockin' album. It's just not, fun fact, supposedly the cover of this album is what they thought two robots having sex would look like. I'm not quite sure where they got that from, but that is on the record. That's what they say.
Okay.
Even though it has
news to me.
Even though it has Ozzy on it, to me, there's just not a lot of good stuff. Rock and Roll Doctor is okay, but I'm sorry, I don't want to hear Black Sabbath sound like T-Rex.
Right,
I don't want to hear Black Sabbath sound like Dinosaur Jr. I want Sabbath to sound like Sabbath. And this album is probably the least Sabbathy sounding album they ever did.
I agree.
There's not even a single song that I go back to. She's Gone is okay if I have. Gypsy is one song that I do like on this. So it's not a total loss.
Right. But
it's not good.
You know,
it's not good. To me, anyway.
No, and that's my next album. So
well, here you go.
Right there. And to me, it just sounded like they were just rushing through this and saying, "Hey, listen, did somebody else write these songs? It just doesn't even sound like them.
It really doesn't.
It's very strange." It was almost like they were like, you know what? Let's just get this album out, and then we're going to go our separate ways or something.
Which is what they did. This was the last album they did with Ozzy up until 2013.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Is that right?
This is 76?
Never Say Die was. I'm pretty sure this was the last one.
This was 76. Yeah. Two robots having sex.
That's what they said. Yeah. That's what I guess. That's what That's about as much as I want to go into on that.
There you go, folks. What do you think?
All right, my next... Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it me? No, that was mine.
Yeah, okay. So my next one... So I got a couple over Forbidden. My next one... Okay, before I do this, I want to say...
Wow.
I love Tony Martin.
Me too. I think he's got a
even though some of his releases for me will be in the lower tier...
It's tough to beat
I still love Tony Martin.
Yes.
And
Sabbath all around.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just almost get that Kiss feeling where it's like, hey, it's tough to put these out there because they're all so solid. But
yeah. My next one though is got to be Tear. Now, from what I understand, Headless Cross had come out, and Tony Martin wrote lyrics basically about what he thought Black Sabbath would want to write about, which is why I think they say Satan like 1,000,000 times on that album. Like, it gets
silly.
It gets very silly. And Tony Iommi
yeah.
had a talk with Tony Martin about this, which is kind of why this album is so different than that. Not a lot of great. I do like some of the stuff on Tear.
Yeah.
I like the Sabbath Stones. I like the Lawmaker. Odin's Court. This is just not. It sounds like they just slapped a theme on it. It's definitely not a Viking metal kind of a sound.
No.
It's really not even that much different of a sound than any of the albums they did with Tony Martin.
Right.
It's just not very cohesive. There's not a lot of stuff that.
It's almost as if they were making it up as they went along.
Which is kind of like. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, about Forbidden.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of right.
Yeah.
But, not a lot of great songs. I do like Sabbath Stones. That's probably the highlight. But other than that, not even a lot to say about this album for real. Just Tear. It exists.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's some heavy riffs on it.
Yeah.
And that covers mine as well. So we were on the same.
Was yours Tear?
Yep, Tear was next on mine.
Well, do you have anything you want to say about any of
those?
No,
it just
songs?
Felt like one
I
of
like
those,
Jerusalem a lot. That's a good song.
It just felt to me kind of like, and like I say, there are heavy riffs and pretty cool breakdowns and whatnot in it, but all in all, it's just not a memorable album.
Yeah.
To me, not
yeah,
memorable
definitely.
at all.
It's just marginally more memorable. Well, it's better than Technical Ecstasy. I would put it in every time over Technical Ecstasy.
Absolutely.
Just to hear Tony Martin, and of course, the tone that they had during this lineup.
Yes.
I think Cozy Powell's still on drums on this
I believe
album,
so.
right? Yeah.
Let's see if it's in there. I don't remember. Not to spend too much time on this album because there's way more.
I think it would be better if it wasn't themed to be Viking related, because it's not. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So both is Tear. So far we're pretty close.
Pretty good on the money here. This is going to be a close one.
Yeah.
All right. So.
So my next one.
There we go.
Since I hate to be talking more than you, but since we have the same one so far.
So far we just kind of mixed one up. Yeah.
Is Forbidden.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like this a little more than you.
Yeah.
I Won't Cry for You is legitimately. I'd probably put it in my top 15 Sabbath songs. Believe it or not.
Really.
I love it. I think I'm surprised you don't like it more. It's got a very dramatic sound to it. The note that he hits in the chorus is just killer. Now, I saw recently on YouTube, and I sent this to you. I'll tag the name of the channel in the description. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a guy on YouTube compiled a documentary of all of these albums, the making of, the interviews of, some footage of the tours, and Tony Martin actually said that most of the lyrics and even vocal melody lines to this record were not written when he went into the studio booth to sing it. That he literally just made up a lot of these songs, which
my gosh.
And you can kind of tell, like especially the one that goes da na da na 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 na. It's like, okay, this is awful. And then of course we know Ice-T is on it because this is the same label that Body Count was on. This is one of those albums. Sometimes I tell people that I like albums that I don't like more than the albums that I do like because they're more interesting to talk about.
Right.
You know, it's like I can talk a lot more about this album than I can about something like Master Reality, where a million things have been said.
Yeah.
But I like putting on those sucky albums and finding something I like about it. And so, with that being said, for that reason, I will not put this in my bottom list just because of that. Anyway.
So it's not in your bottom list because it's so bad it's good.
No, there is some legitimately good stuff on it, and especially this remaster makes it sound a lot heavier than you expect. I like The Illusion of Power. Yeah. I like Sick and Tired. I like Rusty Angels. I love I Won't Cry for You.
So do you believe that they fully just made those lyrics up on the spot, or is he exaggerating a bit?
Well, I don't know why he would have said it. I don't know that it's like that for every single song on the album, but it's at least like that for a few of them.
Yeah.
And you can tell. You can really tell.
I just would, it would just be just so bizarre. What a bizarre thing for a band at that level.
Yeah.
To do something so silly.
Well, I think
I mean, that's what we used to do when we would write a riff. We just kind of make noises over it to be like, this is what the vocal melody should be like.
Yeah, and they just kept those original.
they just kept those words that were popping out.
Yeah.
That would be a silly thing to do. That seems so.
Well, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, almost every Sabbath fan unanimously has this at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not good enough to go past number 17 for me.
Right.
But it's not bad enough to go on number 19 either. But now that I'm sitting there thinking about this, do I really believe that Technical Ecstasy is worse than Forbidden? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this. This might change, but
I will.
My opinion might change. The video will still stay the same.
So my next one is right here. What do you think about Cross Purposes?
I like it a lot. I think it's a strong album, yeah. And I love how heavy it is.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
But see, and now, and I'm going to say this the same as the kind of Kiss things. There maybe right now is about to the point to where you're going to find the albums be pretty solid.
Yeah.
But they have to fall behind.
They have to fall somewhere.
They have to fall in the track, but I hate to do it to Tony and put him back here again. Well, I feel like that's 3 or 4 Tonys already, and we're only 2 in. No,
yeah, really.
But,
one interesting thing about this album is that this cover art, the Scorpions used it first.
What?
Yeah, they stole it from the Scorpions. I don't know if it was an album or a live album or a flyer, but the Scorpions 100% had that art first.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I did not know that. I'm going to have to look into that.
And I don't know that they stole it. Maybe there was a case of they didn't know that they had used it. Yeah.
Like I know that Dream Theater and Circus Maximus both used that same dude on the unicycle.
Oh yeah,
album,
yeah, so. That's right. Yeah. So I can't talk about much more about this album yet. You're gonna be absolutely crushed at what I have next.
Let's go to it.
But before that, is there anything else you want to say about the track?
No, it's very heavy. It's very good. Yeah. But to me, it just wasn't. It just wasn't as memorable as the other Sabbath albums. And I know we've said this already several times that I like Tony a lot.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
So Tony, I know you're not watching this. So. But no.
Well, he's going to be thrilled with my listing of some of his. Some of his albums.
There's definitely Tony albums that are further down the list for me too, but I just it's just not an album that I got into as much as I did other Sabbath albums.
Sure.
That's all there is to it. It's not a bad album.
No, not at all.
Anything that we list from this point on I think is pretty solid.
Well, keep that in mind when you hear what my next one is, because
it better not be Dehumanizer.
No.
Okay.
No, that one ranks pretty high for me. Great. I love that album.
Very good.
However, it is a Dio album that I have.
This isn't good.
Is Mob Rules, man.
This album rules.
Mob Rules, man. This is just I don't particularly. It's the same thing I said about Technical Ecstasy. It's just for me personally. I know that Dio has his fans. I'm not detracting from Rest in Peace. What is our deal with talking about people that
that's because all of our heroes have passed on.
A world without heroes, man. Okay, so Mob Rules. Let me kind of say why it's not my favorite.
Okay.
To me, this is kind of medieval Sabbath. Like, we're signed to the Southern Cross, and I do like Voodoo, Country Girl. I don't know. Falling Off the Edge of the World. Damn, that's a good song. Falling Off the Edge of the World is a good song. Maybe I'm being a little too unkind. Maybe it shouldn't be down this low. But when we first started this video, I said, man, because, I did the ranking back when we originally started this idea, which is probably 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Back when Ozzy had first died, I was listening.
It was literally right after he passed away, maybe a week later.
And it's just I'm not a Dio fan. Dio to me
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm just not into the dwarf,
I love it,
medieval kind of thing. And while it's not really what I want to hear with Sabbath, and I'm glad that we're having a little bit of a difference of opinion. This is what makes an interesting video. I like the other Dio stuff significantly more than Mob Rules. I think Heaven and Hell is killer. I love Dehumanizer. Mm-hmm. And I even really love the versions of this song that are on Live Evil.
Right.
So it's not that Dio Sabbath is totally lost on me. It's just that the Mob Rules album is my least favorite of the Dio era.
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, Country Girl really doesn't do it for me. Turn Up the Night, I'm not. Yeah, it's just it's here. I just personally never go back to this album.
Right.
But with that being said, I really do love Falling Off the Edge of the World, and I'm not even a big fan of the song The Mob Rules.
Right.
I know that sounds crazy to hear, but that's my number. What is it? 15?
Yeah.
Mob Rules.
Back there.
No, 16. Mob Rules.
Man.
Which I know is a lot different than yours.
So I did Cross Purposes next, but my next album was 13. Oh, it's right there. Huh. Yeah, 13. Well.
Excuse me. The worst part about this album is Rick Rubin produced it.
Do tell.
Well,
What's so bad about that?
Well, it's crystal clear. Like it's almost overproduced.
It doesn't feel as
real. It doesn't feel as in the room as the early Sabbath stuff did. Yeah,
it just kind of feels so produced that it takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Even though I do rank this album significantly high on my list. But,
to me, this is the second worst album, obviously, with Ozzy on vocals.
Yeah,
and that's because the other one, we already talked about. But,
yeah.
But I mean, I can't think of an album with Ozzy on it that I go back and listen to more than this.
You mean less than this?
Less than this.
Well, when was the last time you listened to that one? Because until Ozzy died, I had not spun this album since it came out, and I thought it was one of the worst. But then,
is that right?
Yeah, but then after Ozzy died, I went back to this album, and I'm like, man, there's some cool stuff on this. Like Loner, man, that song is great. That could have been on any of the first 5 albums.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I like it a lot. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So that's your number 15.
Yeah, what you got?
Next, I have got my number 15 is, we're going with Seventh Star. Not a whole lot to say about this album. Everybody knows that it was originally supposed to be Tony Iommi's solo album, which is why it says featuring Tony Iommi there. Now, I will say there are some good songs on this album. No Stranger to Love that you mentioned in the last song.
One of the first times it's definitely the first time I ever heard Sabbath without Ozzy.
Remind me the name of the singer on this one.
Ian Gillan?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Glenn Hughes.
Glenn Hughes, yeah. I had a brain fart. I couldn't think of it. There are some cool stuff on this. Even though I don't like the name of it, it's kind of corny. The riff on Danger Zone is killer.
Oh yeah.
And you know what it reminds me of? The riff to Faith.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That kind of a groove. There are some songs on this. That's a song in our old band Heretica. That remind me of some of the grooves on this. I love the song Seventh Star. Heart Like a Wheel. That's a good ballad. That's a good. That's the ballad on it, right? Yeah.
And we're talking about an absolute bizarre twist on Black Sabbath at the time.
Yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
it shocked everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there's something about it that I really like.
This is an interesting cover. I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it's one of the different cover variations.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell you a whole lot about it. I don't know a lot about it. But I like it. I mean, it's a bluesy album.
It's different. Yeah, it's not what you would. It's not different in a bad way necessarily. It's just a very far venture from where they were coming from.
I just really like the sound of Tony's riffs. You can kind of tell he's writing with a little bit more blues in mind, and I like blues rock a lot.
Right.
Obviously, we're with me talking about Sabbath.
Yep.
But in this one, he just, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but the riffs just sound different. And
you feel like Glenn's vocals hurt it a bit, or do you think they're...
No, but you know what hurts it? It's not Glenn's vocals, it's Glenn's attitude to being in Sabbath after the fact. You know, he didn't really want to be seen as a heavy metal singer. He kind of thought that was beneath him, and every time Sabbath was mentioned, he would have to disclaim it by saying, well, yes, I did heavy metal, but I also did this, and I also did this. So don't think of me as the Sabbath singer, like there would be something wrong with that.
Right.
So yeah, Glenn Hughes not really living and breathing metal. I think he does these days, because that's kind of, you know, he's in a super group right now that's pretty... Black Swan, is that the name of it?
I'm not familiar.
Something like that. It's on Frontiers, I think. But
that doesn't shock me.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about Seventh Star other than, I still think it's a solid album.
Well, that was my next.
Next.
So that's good. So
we really are, other than Mob Rules, kind of neck and
so
neck.
far, not Mob Rules was the only one that's a little different, and that's way different on my. But
right.
Seventh Star is just like you said. It has that feel that just is a little different than everyone's used to. And when you're listening to Sabbath, you're kind of like taken back by it a bit. You're like, oh, this is. But one of the first songs that I can really remember hearing, as I mentioned in the other video, was No Stranger to Love.
Yeah.
And it was on this compilation album that my father bought. And I can't remember, but it was some Thunder and Lightning or something was the name of the compilation. And it was all these bizarre songs. It was no hits, but maybe they were. I guess that was a hit, you know, because it did have a video if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it did.
But it was not like the hits that you would think of if they were to make a Black Sabbath song on a compilation album. And I remember hearing it, and I had no idea who it really was when I heard it because it didn't sound like anybody I knew.
It definitely didn't sound like
And then
Sabbath.
when I looked in the liner notes, I was like, "What the heck?
Yeah.
This is weird," you know. But I didn't hate it, and I don't hate it. Let me just put it that way. It's not bad.
That's pretty much what you can say about it. I find that I like it the most when I'm listening to Sabbath heavy, and then I put this album in after I've heard a lot of the others.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, this is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
That's probably why I have it ranked this high, even though this isn't that high. But,
yeah, it's pretty far back.
But anyway, yeah. So
right.
we're on track for that one. So my next one then is Cross Purposes.
There you go.
I like this album a lot. Cross the Thorns, Psychophobia, Immaculate Deception. Even the bonus track, What's the Use. This album is probably, just in terms of production, probably their heaviest album. I mean, it's just got a lot of really good crunchy moments in it. Tony Martin is really great. Probably, we talked about this a little bit. They ripped off the artwork, but I do love the artwork though.
I'm gonna have to look into that Scorpions artwork there.
I think it was on a flyer or like a DVD or a VHS. I don't think it was one of the covers. It might have been one of the covers.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
I don't really know a lot about the liner notes and the recording of this album, so there's not a lot that I'll be able to say about it other than saying that I like a lot of these tracks, especially Cross of Thorns. I think that's one of the better Tony Martin era songs. It really sounds like it would belong on the Headless Cross, obviously, just by the title.
Right.
But yeah, if you haven't listened to this album in a while, definitely go back and give it a spin. Cross Purposes. I think it's really heavy and really great.
All right. For me, the next album down was Never Say Die. Funny artwork, though, isn't it?
Interesting artwork. Yeah.
Interesting choice there. I don't know if you remember that.
What's your standout track here? What, is it obvious?
No, it's not at all.
Okay. There's not one.
Yeah, it's not.
Junior's Eyes is my favorite song on this album.
It was really, it was kind of towards that time when it was like, I don't know. It was like, kind of in the mix for me, like, my love of Ozzy and just revisiting the album. It just has a good feel to it, but it as far as Ozzy albums go, it's back there as one of the least memorable ones to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Even the title track "Never Say Die" is a little bit too major chord. It's almost too much like the Who or something.
Right.
It definitely doesn't sound Sabbathy.
Yeah.
Air Dance is really good.
Very strange.
And I legitimately love Junior's Eyes. That would probably make a top 10, top 15 song for me.
Is that right?
By Sabbath, yeah. It's just a groovy bass line. It's a really unique song. They really cool feel to that song. That might be my next one. Let me see.
Really?
No, it's not quite my next one. I got that a little higher, so we'll talk more about it then.
It's just one of those albums that I never found myself wanting to go back and listen to.
Yeah, same.
But when after Ozzy passed away, I went back and listened to it again. I was like, well, it is better than Tear.
It's better than Tear. It's better than Technical Ecstasy.
And to me, I liked it more than Cross Purposes. But I didn't revisit that one after he passed away. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, it's definitely heavy. It's definitely heavy for sure.
Not meaning Cross Purposes. I meant 13.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking about Ozzy.
Yeah, 13 is really good.
I should have went back and listened to 13 again after he passed, but I sure haven't. But yeah.
Well, it'll be a nice little surprise for you.
Yeah,
it surprised me,
Right.
All right, my next one, we're going with number 13 here.
No.
Going with, not 13, going with The Eternal Idol. Really solid Tony Martin album.
Definitely.
Ancient Warrior, Hard Life to Love, even the acoustic little thing, Scarlet Pimpernel, I guess how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
This album is when I first got this special edition. I filmed it and sent it to you, and I said, "Man, this sounds like Dawkins."
Yeah, this
I
rocks.
mean, Ancient Warrior is one of my favorite Sabbath songs with Tony Martin. And a great cover. Different kind of logo for them. Really clean re-release. This is from the Anno Domini box set.
Yeah.
Anno Mundi box set.
Right.
Anyway, one of those. I didn't get the box set, but I got the individual re-releases. This is a standout one for me, especially for Ancient Warrior. I think that track, when it kicks in, man, is probably one of the most killer songs they did with Tony Martin.
Right.
It freaking
sure.
rocks, man. Hard Life to Love. This has just got a tone to it. A little bit more so to me than Tear. A little bit more so to me than Cross Purposes, even though those came out later. They kind of hit the nail on the head with the first couple Tony Martin albums, and then to me they kind of went down after that.
Right.
But Eternal Idol coming in next, standout track, Ancient Warrior. If you haven't listened to that one recently, do yourself a favor, listen to it. It's killer.
Yep. I've got that a lot higher on my personal list. I think that album is really fantastic.
Well, I love. We're reaching the point now where they're all awesome.
Pretty good.
Can't
really.
It's really just personal. Like I put on that album right now and listen to it just as easy as I can Master Reality.
Yeah.
Like so,
one
it's
of my
just
favorites.
Yeah. Well, me too. So it's just it can't compare to me with stuff that's been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
But it's still a great album. It's still a great album.
And now we're talking. There's a little bit of a difference in coming up in my next one here because, like you said, we're kind of at a point now to where it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. You want to kind of cram them all down in the top 5.
Right.
Because every album that's going to be next for me is pretty good, and that's including Headless Cross and everything like that. But that's not on my list. That's next. Actually, my next album is actually an Ozzy album.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's a really good album.
Oh, okay. That would be the one I would pick.
Yeah.
If I were going to rank an Ozzy album this low, it'd be that one.
And, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, yeah. It's
Sabotage, if you can't see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's just tough. I'm assuming that you have it next as well, then.
I'm pulling up the track listing since it's not on that.
Yeah.
But Hole in the Sky is excellent. Symptom of the Universe, are you kidding me? You know, the internet talks a lot about the song The Writ. I'm not a huge fan of the song The Writ.
The internet talks about that song? I did not know that.
Well, I did a lot of Sabbath rankings watching in preparation for this. And yeah, a lot of people really say that The Writ is one of the best songs. And to my ears, I don't hear it. But, you know, to each their own.
Look at this cover.
Yeah, look at Bill Ward's pants, man.
I'm telling you. You know?
Ozzy still looks cool, even though he's in a kimono or whatever that is.
The boots he's got on.
Yeah. So what's your standout track here? You think probably for me, Symptom of the Universe.
Yeah.
That's a great. Megalomania is a killer song too.
Actually, Hole in the Sky is pretty rocking.
Yeah.
Rocking right into Don't Start. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But
no,
I had to put it back there because, like I said, everything else has a lot more memorable.
True
songs
that.
on it
Yeah.
for me.
Facts. Absolutely. Okay. So next one for me. Let's see. Uh-oh. Gotta do it. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
No.
Heaven and Hell. For me, personally. Just personally.
That's
now,
cool.
you know what this reminds me of? Bread. The band Bread.
Yeah,
it has
it does.
always reminded me, I don't know why, of a much softer 70s rock, yacht rock band.
I wonder if the same artist drew that because it does look like that.
What can you say about this album? I
It
know
rules.
that a lot of people are like, who is this guy that you're doing these videos with? Yeah.
No,
not the biggest fan of Neon Nights.
yeah, that song's
Children of the Sea.
Dude, that song rules.
What came first? Children of the Damned by Maiden or Children of the Sea by Sabbath?
Children of the Sea, man.
Did it? Okay.
I think Children of the Sea rule. Was that 80? That's 1980 there.
Yeah.
Wait, when was Children of the Damned then?
That would have been 1980 as well.
Yeah.
Didn't Number of the Beast come out on?
I think that might have been 82.
Yeah. Well, it's this again. This is just not kind of what I don't know how to explain it. There's a particular.
This is.
Yeah, I know. I'm killing you over here.
Well,
But
I'm
obviously
telling you.
the song "Heaven and Hell," we got a lot of dun 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 dun
There you go.
done to death on this album. Personally, Lady Evil is probably, which I think we should have covered that song in Heretica. That was right up our wheelhouse, man. Right in our wheelhouse. So Lady Evil is good.
Die Young.
Is this a bad album? Not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, like I said, this is nothing but good albums.
Yeah, but just for me personally, I find myself going. I mean, I go to Born Again before I go to the Dio albums. I'm kind of weird like that. Like, not to say I'm weird. I'm underground. I'm not meaning like that, but truly, even the Dio Sabbath stuff. Like, I remember during a Heretica practice, you and Corey were talking about stand up and shout. And once it got time to sing it, I said, stand up and shout! Because I thought we were talking about Steel Dragon. That's how little I know Dio.
Right.
You know, I'm just not a Dio guy. I don't particularly care for his voice. I know that's crazy, rest in peace. He's just, do you have one of those guys where everyone tells you, oh, they're so great, but for whatever reason, it was just never your thing?
Yeah. Metallica.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dio's like that for me, and I hate to say it because he's a rock god, and you can never take that away from him. And then he had a real nasty attitude towards Ozzy in the 80s. A lot of his interviews,
I've heard that.
The back and forth, it just really kind of... And then, you put this... We'll probably differ here. You put this next to Blizzard or Diary... I don't even know that album exists. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just my opinion. Not trying to step on anyone's toes. But yeah, that's for me. Next is Heaven and Hell. Now, with that being said, please don't... I still like the record. And I still will rock with Lady Evil, Heaven and Hell.
Right.
That kind of stuff. But not in my top.
I hear you.
All right, what about you, man?
I forgot where I was. Wait, what was the last time I did Sabotage?
Yeah, Sabotage.
Volume 4.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even see it.
It's it's right under bread.
Oh man, yeah. So
that's a great album.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you have this ranked so low.
Yeah, like I say, but this is.
People are gonna gasp when they hear my number 16 or 14. They're gonna do the same for you for a different reason.
Well, yeah, this album does rule. Like you said, it's pretty much a solid album all the way around. Snowblind, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
It's one of the heaviest songs. But,
of course, you know who else has a song called Snowblind?
Who's that?
Ace Frehley.
Ah,
yeah.
Is that
78
right?
solo album. Snowblind, can't feel a thing. Yep.
But what year was this one, man? 72?
I believe it was 72. No.
71, 72?
Let me double check. Sorry, I'm not exactly a Sabbath master.
No.
72.
Master
Yep.
Well, 72. Okay.
You're right.
Man, like you say, it's like you were saying about Heaven and Hell. You can't really go wrong with anything that's coming out on this list now, but it just had to come in the list. But I do think this album rocks all the way through.
Well, one of the big doom bands of our time, Saint Vitus, they stole their name from this album. And Saint Vitus is a great band. Probably wouldn't exist.
I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, you're not?
No, do tell.
But you've heard of them, right?
No.
They're like called one of the big four of doom metal.
Is that right?
I have
no idea who they are.
Oh man, they're definitely worth listening to, along with a band called Trouble.
I know Trouble.
Yeah. Let me see the track. Listen to this again. I'll talk more about it on mine. So this is your number. Where are we at?
Boy.
This is your
14
number.
maybe? Or 11?
Yeah, 11. I'll talk more about this soon. Tomorrow's Dream is excellent. Yeah, Supernaut, Cornucopia. I mean, yeah, great album. Volume 4.
Yeah.
Next for me, coming in at number 11, I've got Never Say Die.
Mm-hmm.
Solid album. Like I said earlier, I really love Air Dance, Junior's Eyes, and Johnny Blade, band that you just mentioned, Metallica. They did a cool cover of this at the Back to the Beginning show. That was really awesome.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of already talked a little bit about this album. Not my favorite, obviously.
Right.
But it's still leagues better than Technical Ecstasy. If Junior's Eyes was not on this album, it would be much slower.
Right.
So if you haven't listened to Junior's Eyes in a while, check that out. Still a really solid album. We're a long way away from the classic Sabbath sound on this album, but still worth listening to, and not as bad as Technical Ecstasy. That's pretty much the big things I can say about this album. Yep.
Next for me is right beside it here.
Oh, nice. Born Again.
Born Again, yeah. Make sure you see this here.
Yeah. Just the one little sheet there.
I remember there's that the video that I posted on the MSTmike3K channel of 80s music. It was like a
Satanic Panic. I saw it. I watched it. Yeah.
And this album cover made the top of them talking about Satan being in heavy metal and all that stuff like that.
So you know what's funny
cover.
about this album cover? Now, correct me in the comments. I might get some of the names and the year wrong, but the story goes, the guy that did the cover to this is the same guy that did the cover to Blizzard and Diary.
Really?
And he gave Sabbath a picture that they thought was so bad that they were going to have to use because it was so late in the process of getting this album out. And so they took it to a photocopy place and they inverted the colors and ended up with this kind of a way that it looked. Legendarily terrible album cover. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure it was the same guy that did the Ozzy covers.
Wow.
He did that cover and gave it to him as like almost like a screw you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they turned it into this.
They turned it into that, yep.
Wow.
And it is one of the most notorious heavy metal album covers of all time.
Yeah, and it's like everyone knows this album cover now.
You know, the internet hates this record, dude.
Yeah, I figured.
I love this album.
I think it rocks.
I love it. This, to me, I go to this album more than I do the Dio stuff. And I'll talk a lot about it when I get to my point in the ranking, but I can't say enough good stuff about this album.
But you do have to think of, when you think of Stonehenge, you think of Spinal Tap.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, it gets kind of corny. But, man, Ian Gillan could shriek like a banshee.
Yeah.
And, you know, he killed his voice after this. This is the record, and this is the tour. This is why Ian Gillan never sounded like this again.
Really?
Yeah, during this tour. He completely killed it.
Wow.
And don't get me wrong, I love this album. I mean, I'll talk more about it. I could talk a whole hour and a half about that album.
How interesting.
I
had no idea about the story of the cover art. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. List the guy's name if you know it. I'm older and I can't really think of this stuff quickly like I used to. But another thing about this album, I'll talk more about it, is you want to get the original release because it was kind of cleaned up later, where it sonically sounds better. That's not what you want with an album like this.
No.
You're talking
80s heavy
you want the muddy, you want the raw, you want the creepy, and there's more I want to say about this album, but we'll get to it.
Okay, all right.
I love that album.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Next, okay, we're in the top 10.
Yep.
I would put this in the top 10. Dehumanizer.
Rules.
I love this album. It is leaps and bounds ahead of Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules, for me personally.
Okay.
Just for me. I know that's a controversial thing, but the song I, not to be confused with the Kiss song I.
Yeah.
I am wicked. I am evil. I mean, give me a break. That song is killer. When I was a long time ago going through custody battle with my old daughter, not to get too personal, but I am standing alone, but I will rock you. Like, this is a killer album, killer song. After All the Dead, TV Crimes.
TV Crimes.
I mean,
cool. What a riff.
Computer God. Yeah, this is Time Machine. How did I forget about Time Machine? Killer album. I've always believed that there are some Sabbath albums you just gotta own on tape, and this and Born Again are two of them. I love the campy cover.
Awesome artwork.
I love it. I love it, man. I think
beautiful.
And this is just goes to show you, internet world. I don't hate Dio. He's not my favorite, but Dehumanizer is one of my favorite Dio Sabbath albums.
That is your favorite Dio album.
Yeah, it is my favorite Dio album.
The rest of them,
unless we were counting live albums, then I'd go with Live Evil.
Right.
Well, let me say something about that before we move on. I might not care much for Mob Rules or Heaven and Hell as albums. As songs and as a band, this album kills it. I'll listen to Heaven and Hell. I'll listen to all those songs on Live Evil more than I'll put in those albums. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this album. We're not ranking the live albums, but just to show it off. For me, if I go to Dio, Aero Sabbath, I'm putting in Live Evil all day. And Dehumanizer.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, just these two releases are all I need for my Dio Sabbath fix. All right, what's your number 10?
We're at 10? Oh, it's Paranoid, which is an awesome album.
Oh yeah, worst album cover of all time.
Oh God. Yeah, I never really paid that much attention to it, but this guy's face, now that I'm looking deep into his eyes.
Well, it was supposed to be. This is back when it was called War Pigs.
Oh.
So that's why he's kind of dressed like that.
Oh man, but you know it does have all the hits.
I mean, yeah, if it wasn't because of the overplayed of Iron Man and Paranoid, this would probably be my number one.
Yep.
Now, War Pigs is a song I never get tired of.
Fairies Wear Boots.
Love that freaking song.
Yeah.
Jack the Stripper, Hand of Doom, The Electric Funeral.
Man, it's nothing but the hits album.
Talk about being backloaded. Look at that backside. Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad, Jack the Stripper, Fairies Wear Boots, War Pigs, Paranoid. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But like you say, the reason I put it so low is because I've heard these songs so many times, I don't really want to listen to them. Except for this, like you said, except for this back half.
It's ironic because the very first song Heretica ever played was Paranoid.
Paranoid, yeah.
And that still exists on my YouTube channel.
Oh gosh, please. That was like 1984. Oh man, great album.
Huh? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so coming up next at number 9, I can finally talk a little bit more.
There you go.
About Born Again, which I probably should have this even higher. Somebody, I think it was the guy from Sea of Tranquility, said about this album, I thought it was a perfect quote. He said, even though this isn't the best Sabbath album, it is the perfect Sabbath album. He said, if you gave somebody who had never heard of Sabbath and just heard the name a tape, this is what a band called Black Sabbath would sound like. Disturbing the Priest, that kind of stuff. Like, first of all, Disturbing the Priest, Zero the Hero. Zero the Hero is one of the best riffs. I don't particularly care for Guns N' Roses, but Slash would go on record as saying that he ripped off that riff for Paradise City.
Really?
It's the same riff, just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Digital Bitch, which of course we all know who that song was about. So, sorry if you're lost, Sharon. Thrash. To me, that's almost sounds like too much of a Deep Purple song.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I never really particularly cared for thrash, but
you do care for Deep Purple, though. You said
yeah. No, I am a Deep Purple fan, but there are a couple songs like "Killer" from Creatures of the Night on Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
It really sounds like nobody gonna drive my car. It really sounds like that, and I get the same feeling with thrash here. But I mean, Disturbing the Priest, The Dark, Zero the Hero, Digital Bitch, Born Again, Hotline, Keep It Warm. I love this album, especially Disturbing the Priest. That to me, it's so creepy. What exactly is it doing at the beginning?
Right.
And then it goes into the main part of the song, and then the way it goes into the dark, and then the way that feeds into Zero the Hero. Man, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I love this album. And that little run right there, Disturbing the Priest, The Dark, Zero the Hero. Absolutely killer. I should have it listed higher than number 9, but that's just where it lies. But don't listen to the internet. Born Again rules. Anyway, what's your number 9?
Is that where we're at, 9?
Hang on, let me double check. Number 9.
Eternal Idol.
Oh, that's right here.
Yep, and you put this one up a little higher up on
I did. And it's still a killer album, though.
Absolutely. And, it's one of my favorite, almost my favorite Tony Martin album. It just straight out rocks.
You can't beat it.
I mean, it just
especially
straight out
this
rocks.
Remastered version.
Now, I've not listened to this remastered, so I need to put this on the record player and spin it around and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely
What makes this remastered so much better, did you think?
Just a heavier bass sound. The kick drum kicks more. The clip of the video I sent you where I sound, man, I never realized how much it sounded like Dawkins. That came from this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's super clean, just really heavy.
Some of the best riffs.
Some of the best riffs. A heavier bass tone.
What was this, 87, 86?
Something like that. Let me double check that right here.
It's gotta be late 80s. I can't remember.
We were at 87. You're pretty
87.
good with the dates.
And when was this record made?
Would have been
This brand new?
86.
I mean,
oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry, the actual record
that
itself.
came out with the Anno Domini box
So that
set.
was like this year, last year, wasn't it? That
a
wasn't
couple
that
years
long.
ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And correct me. It's
Wonder why
Anno
it's so
Mundi,
clean.
Anno Domini. The recent Tony Martin box set. I think I'm getting the title of that wrong. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Eric Singer plays on drums on this. How did we forget about that? I'm glad we're talking about so much. Yeah, I did know that. And he went from this to Coop, didn't he?
Correct.
He went from this to Alice Cooper. And then to Kiss. God, what a great career he had. I've totally forgot about that. I feel, duh. Yeah, Eric Singer plays on this. Which is one of the reasons the drums sound so damn good.
Yeah, there you go. They weren't remastered. It was just Singer playing.
Yeah, really. Really. All right, so down to my number 8. We're going with the Headless Cross. Honestly, musically, this is one of the best. This is my favorite Tony Martin Sabbath album.
Yeah.
Devil and Daughter, which interesting that Ozzy had the song "The Devil's Daughter" around the same time, same year as this one. Nightwing, Call of the Wild, Kill in the Spirit World. When Death Calls. There's a funny story about When Death Calls. In the middle of recording that song, Cozy Powell stops playing drums and he says, "What's the name of this song again? You sure we don't need to add the word death a few more times?" So, like, and that kind of lends itself to my biggest gripe with the record is that the lyrics are just kind of campy. There's no escaping the power of Satan. I'm like, you could tell Tony Martin's writing what he thinks Sabbath should be, as opposed to the overcorrection he would do on the next one. But with that being said, you can't take away the fact that this album just kills.
Absolutely.
It slays,
the
man.
sound of it is just beyond.
It is very
heavy.
80s metal. And look at this picture.
It is true metal.
To Call of the Wild. I mean, like...
Let me see that picture.
Yeah. It's killer. Yeah, it's killer, man.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah. And this is a really clean edition of it.
Yeah,
like,
it
the new re-releases
like
are great. I love this album. Kill in the Spirit World's probably the biggest. Call of the Wild's really good. Every song on this album is good. There's not a single bad song on it.
Right.
I just have a little bit of a bone to pick with the lyrical content. But as for musicality-wise, you can't beat it when it comes to Tony Martin. It is killer, and it's my number 8.
There you go. All right, we said Eternal Idol. You know what? That's my next album. Is Headless Cross. We were talking about it. Yep.
Yeah, right on, man.
And just to pick on what you said, I think it got a little more spotlight when Eric Grunwald covered it a little bit on his YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
he put it out there. He did a great cover.
Yeah, he did. He did an awesome job. Yeah. Of course, that guy could sing the alphabet. Sell copies.
He's freaking awesome. But this,
we'll have to do a Skid Row ranking at some point.
Oh yeah. Well, that won't take very long.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like 6 albums.
But that will be a lot of fun to do. Actually, I'd love to do that. Yeah. And I think there'd be some surprises on there too. But this album, it's just the rawness, the soundness of the true heavy metal sound from the 80s that they had in this album. It was like it sounded like an underground heavy metal dark album. The lyrics are pretty silly, kind of King Diamond-ish, kind of funny like that. But that doesn't bother me. I don't really care.
No,
but it can be silly. It can
be
silly sometimes when you're like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to Dairy Queen after this. You don't have to talk about Satan all the time.
Well, it's funny. They didn't even talk about Satan as much in the early Black Sabbath.
Right.
They do
the albums that you think that's what they're singing about, they didn't.
Yeah.
But that stuff's funny to me. It doesn't bother me. It's just the music of it just straight up.
And
rocks.
the production. I mean, it's like if 1980s Fog Machine, Street Lamp, nighttime horror movies were an album, it would be that album. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be that album.
It's like but it's not like the mainstream horror movies.
Yeah.
It's like the lower budget horror movies that you find at the mom and pop's video stores that you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like a Black Sabbath album that's underground, but it's not underground, and it's very cool. It's just really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Solid,
the best Tony Martin.
all the way through and through. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, when you got all these Sabbath albums in a row, it can't be that high up.
Yeah, it has to fall somewhere, which was my biggest problem with the Kiss one we did.
Right.
It's like albums that you love, they got to go somewhere. All right, but the next one, I'm not seeing it here. I know we talked about it already.
Is it this one?
No, it's I'm not seeing it. But it's 13.
Oh, I think it got.
Oh yeah,
Literally
right in front of me. Like I said earlier, God is Dead had come out back then, and I just didn't care for it. It sounded too slow and long and just tired. Would be the good word for it. But then I listened to a couple live tracks of them doing Loner, and once Ozzy died, unfortunately, I did go back and listen to this album, and man, I don't know why I thought it was so bad. Into the Beginning is really great. Loner, I love that song. It's a classic riff all the way through. Live Forever, Damaged Soul is really killer. And then I really love the way that it ends with Dear Father, and then it comes back on with the rain and the bell. That ends the exact same way. Of course, the classic first one starts. They don't have Bill Ward on this album. They got the drummer from Rage Against the Machine, which is another reason that I never really, which is I believe it's Rage Against the Machine. I'm not a fan of that band, so let me know if I'm wrong. I don't even know the guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know that band very well.
Me neither. Anyway, they got Rick Rubin, I believe, as the producer. Again, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think it's Rick Rubin, and it's a solid album. It does have some marks against it, but you know what? Overall, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to listen to some of this stuff, especially Damaged Soul and Loner. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I said, I did this ranking a couple months ago. Today, this would probably not rank this high, but I was listening to it heavy after Ozzy died, and I really liked it, and I'm not going to change it now, but I still stand beside Damaged Soul and Loner. Great stuff. I love Into the Beginning, Is God Dead? Good stuff. My number 7 is 13. Yeah.
And my number 7 was Headless Cross.
Okay.
So yeah, we kind of covered
really
that already.
are right on with this list for the most part, except for the Sabbath stuff.
We've covered that one pretty well though, as I talked to about there. But now we're online, so that's where I put my Headless Cross and my Tony Martin's final album on our list.
Yeah, on our list. Yeah.
But I mean, the ones that are coming up are about to be nothing but the best for me. Yeah. Because we do have a difference in this.
We do, yeah.
That we already know because there's one I haven't named yet. A couple, actually.
And
3.
We talked about this one earlier with his ranking, but my number 5 is Sabotage. Hole in the Sky is as killer. I mean, you've got Megalomania, which is, to be honest with you, one of probably top 10 favorite Sabbath songs of mine. You've got Symptom of the Universe, which is one of the heaviest tracks.
Right.
I feel like just that was straight ahead heavy. That wasn't slow and eerie. That wasn't flirting with a cool riff. This was just balls to the wall, 4 on the floor, rock. And that riff in the middle of it that goes whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's killer. Gotta get a close up of Bill Ward's pants right there.
This is a VHS that we're recording with, so it might not come out as clear, just so you know.
It adds to the cool factor.
There you go.
But yeah, that's my next one. What you got?
Where we at here? Oh, after Headless Cross was... I'm going to make you upset with this. Oh, I can't reach it. There it is.
The one that started it all.
Yeah, Black Sabbath.
But I call it the Ghost in the Graveyard.
That's pretty sweet looking.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, that's one of the best album covers ever.
Yeah.
And
then of course you got the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
If it shows.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a dope copy. Now, granted, this is not an OG release. I'm a 180 gram vinyl guy. If I can get it in 180, I want it in 180.
Right.
I'm not a purist. My albums don't have to be from the time.
Right.
Tapes, I like my tapes from the time, but records, I like new records.
Well, what can you say bad about this album?
Not a damn thing.
There you
Other
go.
than the fact that we should have covered The Wizard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some stuff on here.
Yeah. I mean, this is just full of Wasp. Look at there.
Yeah.
You know? But seriously, this album is fantastic.
Yeah. This is no spoilers. I'll talk more about it. But if this isn't one of my favorite albums of all time, period, not just Sabbath, then I don't know what is. It's a killer album.
When did this one release exactly?
It's 1970. Recorded in 69, released in 70. And just the fact that it was recorded in 69 when stuff like Zeppelin was coming out just tells you how much far ahead of, further ahead in the game these guys were than others. And the fact that he did it with no fingertips.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Having to tune down the guitar just to play it, creating the sound of heavy metal. Are you kidding me?
It was just the perfect thing to do, yeah. I mean, just an awesome album. Man, oh man. Sleeping Village, what a sweet, awesome title.
Right.
And track as well. I mean, just that's a really cool visual.
And I love how jammy side 2 of this album is. Like just how it's all one big medley almost, and it all fades into the next song.
Right.
Which is really why Dio Sabbath era is my least favorite.
Really?
Because these first 5 albums, it's almost like the whole album is one song. There's very much a jam aspect. There's a living aspect that to me you don't get with Dio.
Right.
It's very much 3.5 minutes. Here's the song. Here's the verse and chorus, and we're done.
Right.
And I like that format.
Yeah.
But with Sabbath, I want to hear a blues-based hard rock. I want it to go on for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not just
I understand.
It's probably the biggest reason. My next one, after my number 4, is we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it now. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Wow.
I love the fact that the album cover shows a man dying and going to hell, and the back album covers the opposite, shows a dying man with angels surrounding him going to heaven.
That is
so
cool.
It's kind of like the two different realities of the human experience right there. And then you got songs like, obviously, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, National Acrobat. The instrumental of Fluff is one of my favorite early Sabbath instrumentals. Killing Yourself to Live is just killer. Sabracadabra. Side note, I really love Metallica's cover of that on Garage Days. But it took me a long time to like this album.
Yeah.
Like a long time. It wasn't until the past couple years that I truly started hearing this album for the genius that it is. But National Acrobat, I think probably Who Are You? There's one song on this album that's really synth heavy. I think it's Who Are You? I don't care for. But other than that, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Yep, and that's my very next album.
Oh, right on, man.
Yep, so we're right on track with that. But
what's your stand-up track?
Abracadabra. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, just like you said, I mean, you can't really say. I never noticed that with the cover, though. That's really cool. I never even paid attention to that.
Yeah, that's my favorite element about that.
How awesome is that?
Yeah.
74, man. I just saw it on the back.
Really just cranking them out at this point. Just one after the other, yeah. Yeah, all these re-releases are really good packaged re-releases.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I've not seen this. I only have it on vinyl.
I'll trade you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm good. Ooh, my copy of Paranoid on vinyl. Oof, it is real messed up.
Yeah, I don't own Paranoid on vinyl. I've just got it
Very
on CD.
cool. So what? So there we are. So that was my next one as well. So
yep. Speaking of Paranoid, that is my number 3 since we both shared Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah.
We already kind of talked about Paranoid. If I can't find it, I'm not too worried about it. There it is.
Oh no, so we're done with it.
Yeah, exactly the same thing Mike said. The main reason that this album isn't number 1 is just because of how much I've heard Iron Man. But I mean, like this album, we've already talked about it. Yeah. But side 2, from Electric Funeral all the way down to Jack the Stripper Fairies Wear Boots. Man, it's hard not to put this at number 1. This This is a fantastic album.
Right.
I know you kind of get tired of War Pigs, and that song is overplayed, but that's one song I never get tired of.
Right.
I love it. It's a shame that the album couldn't be called War Pigs or Walpurgis, which is what it was called.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, my number 3. Let me double check that. Yeah, my number 3 is Paranoid. All right, what's your number? I think we're at 2 for you, right? This is number 2. Mob Rules. Or is this number 3?
I have 3 more to talk about. Yeah.
Okay, so number 3.
Maybe 4. Who knows?
So yeah, we're way apart on this one. Yeah.
Mob Rules, man.
Yeah.
It's to me, Dio is his voice, his lyrics. That's what I love about him, and I know it's the opposite for you.
No, I mean,
but it's something about his voice and his solo albums. I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them through and through, and I think he was one of the best. Like, he's one of the top 5 of my favorite musicians to listen to.
Yeah, that's awesome,
weird?
man. No, not at all. Actually, that's an opinion that's pretty consistent with metal people.
Yeah.
I'm really the weirdo here. Like, I hear everybody say this, but every time I go to listen to him, I'm just like,
Yeah.
You know, that's not to say he's not great.
Right.
It's just for whatever reason it doesn't stick with me. But I'm glad it does you, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's something about it, man. It's heavy. His voice is just so, and you know, that kind of vocals, when I got really big into power metal in the early 2000s, it was like all I cared about from like 99 to now.
Yeah.
All I cared about was this power metal stuff, and they had to have these clean, soaring vocals. And then I was like, I started listening to other singers, because I always listened to Dio.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the first albums I got with Sabbath was Heaven and Hell. And so I've always listened to Dio. I've always really loved him. But it was, you know, I kind of got away from the grittier vocals, and I was like, oh, it's got to have these power metal vocals. But then I started listening to power metal singers that had that rough vocal style, and it got me right back into Dio again.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it's kind of like, this is where it all come from. So singers like Yorn that I got into, he sounds kind of like Dio, you know. And there was an album called Space Odyssey with Richard Anderson, and the singer Niels Johansson, he sounds exactly like Dio. So it was just like, man. And so it all comes back to him for me, and I love his albums regardless of who he's singing with. I guess Rainbow, Dio,
Elf.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just love his voice. One kind of cool
thing. My mom has always told me that when she had me and she got me back in my little car seat, going home, the very first song I ever heard was playing on the radio. I swear this is what she says: "Rainbow in the Dark."
Is that right?
That's what she's always said.
Wow.
Yep. All right, so we're down to the top 2.
Wow.
And for me, my number 2, you can probably know what this is. You can probably deduce it.
Wow, it's exactly the same as mine.
Really? Nice. Master of Reality. I mean, this album, if the other one didn't exist, this would be my number 1.
Right.
After Forever was kind of an answer to everybody calling them satanic. It's a very Christian song.
Right.
Then you got Lord of This World, Sweet Leaf, Children of the Grave,
rules.
Into the Void. Not to be confused with the Ace Frehley song Into the Void from Psycho Circus. But yeah, Master of Reality. This is my all-time favorite picture of them.
Oh, what a
it's
beautiful
just so
picture.
Effortlessly badass. Lord of This World is another one of those riffs that when I pick up a guitar, I just go dun 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 dun. No, I'm sorry. Into the Void. No, I'm getting those songs confused. I think it is Lord of the World. I'm getting them confused. But either way, this album is killer. What can you say about it that hasn't even been said? Even Embryo, the instrumental.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's all these instrumentals on all of these songs, albums. Sweet Leaf, I'm going to be honest, a lot of people like that song more than me. Same with Snowblind on Volume 4. I'm not a big fan of songs that glorify drugs to the point that they do. But, you know, can't deny that Sweet Leaf is a killer track, killer riff.
And Children of the Grave's riff is true metal.
Legendary.
Yes.
It might be the true birthplace of heavy metal.
That is a true metal.
Yeah. Yeah, every single song on this album is just perfect. It's just killer. Master of Reality is both of our number 2.
Yep.
Yeah, one more time, just showing off that inlay.
Yep.
Just one of those genre-defining albums. Like, it's interesting to me. A long time ago, you remember all the heavy metal documentaries that VH1 used to play.
Yeah, I remember
Heavy, the story of metal,
Mm-hmm.
and all
Yeah, I
that
remember
stuff.
that. Mm-hmm.
One of those documentaries said something I never forgot, is that to this day, heavy metal and hard rock follows one or two examples. The Sabbath example and the Zeppelin example. And when you really think about that, that's true. Because a lot of the glam guys in the 80s went the Zeppelin route. And a lot of the more thrash guys went the Sabbath route. So I really do believe that the split in rock is Sabbath and Zeppelin. Two great bands. I'm way more of a fan of Sabbath than I am Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But you can tell that's kind of true. That the whole genre kind of went downhill of what Sabbath and Zeppelin were doing.
Right.
And that's because of this album. So anyway, our number 2, Master of Reality.
Yep.
All right.
You want to do your number 1 or my number 1? Because
Well, I know what your number 1 is.
there it is.
Yep.
Number 1 for me is Heaven and
It's
Hell.
bread. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't say enough about how heavy this album is to me, and how just musically it changed from what they were doing with Ozzy to with Dio.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, it was like heavy metal to me. Like, not that that's not heavy metal, but this
Sure.
was like a different type of heavy
This is
metal.
getting into what 80s metal
Yes.
would sound like.
Yes.
This is like Judas Priest. or
Right.
something,
This was like, holy, yeah, you know, it was a heavy.
Not
Not
wrong
that.
song.
Not that one, but Die Young.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That song is cool. The way it changes and you know, it even comes to almost a complete stop.
Yeah, it
you know,
does,
it was just crazy how different it was to me compared to those other ones. It was just like more energetic. It was more heavier. It was just more my speed, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Dio fan, obviously, and I just thought it was like a change in direction. And for me, and when I found it, I actually bought it just thinking it was Sabbath. I didn't think they'd even know at that time that it was not going to be Ozzy singing. And when I heard it, I was like, this is awesome. But you know, it's very different.
Is this Sabbath again?
Yeah,
Let me
and
double
then
check.
It was like a whole new awakening for me when I first heard it. I thought it was, and then I just stuck to it and I listened to it over and over and over. And you know, I think it opened up a lot of doors for me musically, listening and finding new bands and finding things like that. This sound is more like what I like.
That's awesome, man.
As far as heavy metal.
Yeah.
Heaven and Hell is number 1.
Well, right on.
That
Well,
is very strange.
I guess that leads me to my number 1. And the last album of this video here is, of course, we talked about it a little bit, but for me, number 1 is self-titled Black Sabbath. Yeah, and like, I prefer, when I put on this album, man, it sounds like there's a band playing in the next room.
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot of production here, which is what I like. There's not even a whole lot of structure here in some of these songs. But I like, it's almost like a hard rock blues jam band with a heavy metal veneer over it. It's not really a metal album. It's definitely, I mean, the first 3 notes, the tritone of the song Black Sabbath, I mean, like, that in and of itself wrote the book. We wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for that song.
Right.
And I mean, the best album cover of all time.
It's awesome.
It's just a really clean copy. This is the re-release. Yeah, with the nice little poem in here and everything. I love the fact that it opens with the bells and the rain. I love the fact that 13 closes with that. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah. The very last Sabbath song ends the same way the very first one does.
How about that?
Yeah. Which actually, now that I said that, we should have included Heaven and Hell in this, The Devil You Know, because that's a Sabbath album. Wonder how much that would have changed, because I like that one more than I like Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. But anyway, yeah, my number 1.
Should have done that. Heaven
Black
and Hell
Sabbath.
album.
Yep.
Yeah, I will.
And honorable mentions. Heaven and Hell's The Devil You Know. I will say, just while we're sitting here, Live at Last is a really good album to pick up. They got it on YouTube here. It is the only official live release of the original 4 on their original run.
Right.
So this was released during, I think it was during Never Say Die. But you don't have any of those songs on here. But if I remember correctly, I think it was done during Never Say Die tour. And then, we already talked about Live Evil, but probably my true number 1 Sabbath, if we counted live albums, would have probably been Reunion.
Right.
This is just, I mean, this is I don't even have enough good things to say about this. From the cover to the track listing, it's just absolutely killer. I put this album on when I'm doing dishes, farting around the house, doing whatever. I want to hear Reunion. You know, I go back to this album a lot. But anyway,
I remember when they were promoting that on the radio. My brother and I used to listen to this radio named Z-Rock 106.
Oh, nice.
And they were, and it was surprising to us that Sabbath was getting mentioned on the radio.
Well, that's when they debuted the
Psycho Man.
Yeah, Psycho Man. Yeah,
that was the song they were hyping up.
If I'm not mistaken, I think back then an entire Sabbath show was done over the radio. Because I remember listening to that with my dad. Yeah.
Wow. I remember them hiking up Psycho Man. I remember loving it when it came out, the track. I recorded it on cassette.
Psycho Man was good, but so was Selling My Soul.
Right.
Psycho Man was better.
Yeah, that was a really cool album, and it sounded good. It was like right in that sweet spot of Ozzy, because for me, I thought Osmosis is
I love that album.
And that was shortly after that, a couple years after Osmosis.
Yeah, so he's got a high point of his voice here.
Yeah. And I thought Osmosis was awesome, as much as people don't seem to care for.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Really
That's
freaking
killer
awesome.
album. Even the song Perry Mason. Are you kidding me? What a way to open an album. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. We got great stuff planned for this channel.
Yeah,
we're gonna have album rankings. We're gonna have underrated band.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have concert reviews. Just rocking and talking.
Yeah.
We appreciate you watching the second episode.
Yep.
We'll be back at you in another couple weeks.
Yep. I'm MSTmike3K.
I'm L.A. Gore. If there's any episodes you want us to talk about, just listen down below and we'll see what we can do.
Sure.
Thanks for checking us out.